Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you today how to make colloidal silver yourself. All right, so first you need to start with distilled water. This I bought for $1 at Dollar General, or if you have a distiller, which I do also have, you can make your own. This was just quick and easy. And you also need a sterile mason jar. This has distilled water in it. And you want to leave a little bit of space at the top. You also need a timer. You need pure silver. This is 99.99% silver. These were silver rods. I bent them, and I'll show you why, because you don't want them to touch the bottom of the jar. But these you can get online, Amazon. You need a little scouring pad just to get off the residue from before you used it, from last time you used it. So you just scrape it, and I'll show you that here in just a second. A spoon, because you're going to want to stir. A liquid thermometer, as well as the TDS. This one actually does both. That's total dissolved solids and the temperature. So something you can also get online. This is there's a 9-volt battery in here, and this is also what you'll need, and it's again something you can get online. And then also my chart, which tells me how long I need to do it in order to get various parts per million. Okay, so let's start. I personally am impatient, so I like to expedite the process, which is why I use this over here. This water is room temperature, but you could also do if it was cold. And this right here is just an instant hot water maker. And then what I do is raise the temperature of the water. You'll see real quick. I push temperature. Oops, hold on. Gotta turn it on. Okay, temperature, that's Celsius, Fahrenheit. Here we go. And 77 degrees. Based on my chart, I want to get it up to 82 degrees because it'll cut the time in half. So what I do here is I have instant hot water, you can boil water, and place it in there so that the temperature will rise fairly quickly. And what I'm looking for is I want to get up to 82 or just over degrees. Shouldn't take long. All right, and 82 degrees right there. And that took what, what do you think, Jack? Less than a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the temperature that we want. So I'm going to take it out. And again, that's just because it cuts the time down in half. Okay, next thing we're going to do is before I attach this, all I'm going to do is, you can see there might be a little bit of black residue, and you'll see that's what actually happens with when you add the electricity to it. It does that naturally. So all I'm going to do is scrub it so it's nice and silver shiny, kind of like you're polishing your old silverware. And then the paper towel, just going to wipe it off. And then I attach the first one to the positive side. Okay, do the same thing with the negative. Again, cleaning it off with a Brillo pad or whatever. Just want it nice and shiny. Again, wipe it off with a paper towel. This is on the negative side. Again, I bent the wire so that it would not touch the bottom of the glass and it wouldn't touch each other. So then, if you want to check to make sure this thing is working, you see this light right here? You do is just put them together. You get to see the light's actually going, you can see, but if you want to test it, you can actually put these together and voila. Just to show you it's safe, you can do that, it doesn't hurt. Okay, so it's working. That means my battery is good. And then I'm going to place this in the jar. And just from the side, I want you to be able to see that the tops of the positive and the negative, where it connects, is not touching the water at all. So that's why you need just a little bit of space there. And these are not touching each other, and they're not touching the bottom. So that's why they're positioned the way that they are. Okay, then at this point, what you do is you're gonna set the timer for, I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes. When that goes off, I'm gonna stir the bottom and we'll come back and add additional time. But that I do it in 30-minute increments because that's my reminder to stir it up. So I'm gonna pause this and then come back when the time is up. Okay, so the timer went off. If you can look at the jar from the side, you'll see that there is some residue there. I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna wipe it off. There's gonna be some black and brown residue. That is just part of the process. That is black silver oxide and brown silver hydroxide from the process. So just wipe that off, and I'm gonna stir this. And if there's any black particles, I use a coffee filter at the very end just to filter out anything, just to be super cautious. Okay, so I got that wiped off. Then I put it back in, put it back down. Whoops, here. It's fine. And then I'm gonna set the timer again for 30 more minutes and come back and repeat the process one more time after this. Okay, so it's been just a little over 90 minutes, which is exactly how long I need in order to get at least 30 parts per million for the silver. So I'm just gonna take these off, pull them out, set them aside, and you can see it's already starting to turn like a gold color, which is exactly what you want. Then what I do now is, because you can see there's some kind of particles in it, is I have a coffee filter. I have a sterile mason jar underneath. And from here, all I'm gonna do is just slowly pour it. And that way I get anything bigger than the size of the filter particles that comes out of it. So you can see there's just a few particles in there. And sometimes, depending on, I may end up having to add an extra filter. We'll see. I've done this a few times, and sometimes the filter will start ripping because it gets too much water and softens up. But looks like right now it's holding up, so. All right, I'm gonna pause this. Okay, so we're done with that. I ended up using 2 filters, just so you can see, and that's residual. So that's what doesn't get in your nice clean colloidal silver, and that is what you are left with. That is the color that it's supposed to be. And filtered, purified, good stuff. So this is gonna be at least 30 parts per million for colloidal silver. It's the strongest when you first make it, and then after about 30 days or so, it continues to progressively lose some potency. But this honestly probably will last us 30 days, and then by then I'll be making some more. So anywho, that's how you make it, and I'll make another video on things and uses that, you know, what we use it for. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.